Watching riders from the side of the track is something pretty special, and I think any of you guys that have actually been to a race will just see what kind of impression, what kind of sensation of speed you really get here that maybe you don't always get on TV. But of course, not everyone watching at the side of the track is a spectator. Some of the guys are rider coaches, so a lot of the riders have their own guy who's out on track really watching what they do and helping coach them. Now, to find out exactly what that role is and what it entails, we find out from Scott Redding's rider coach, Stefan Prein.
Go on track 9, turn 9, and then we have a look that we find another few tenths. Because of the braking zone, very difficult thing, and braking is one of the secrets in MotoGP, or in every class, but it is something what we have to improve compared to the best guys, and I think the best guy is just coming there to have a look. We have a kind of, let's say, concept what I worked out with Scott. I don't want to go in every detail, of course, but it has mainly 3 different parts. Deceleration is the braking zone, then the apex, then acceleration. And, there's some figures, what we do, what we work out. I don't go into it, and then we go track by track, decide before the practice how we do that. That was a bit wide in the apex, so the rear lifts up, so we have to learn to use more the rear brake, that the bike is not getting over the front doing this. We have to get the bike consistently going like that. But sounds easy, but it's quite difficult. And yeah, then we work out the points together with the crew of the data and Scott. And it's quite interesting to compare then the videos I'm doing from Scott and also of other fast Honda riders, of course, then to compare in the evening. We take the loudspeaker on, I'll show you later in the box. We can also listen to the engine, to the sound, to the shifting. So that is something always worked out in the evening in the pit box, or mostly also in the evening in a hotel room or by the massage or something like that. But in a different moment, a bit later than Scott. So, however, we don't want to go in the details. But I'm quite sure that somebody who's not racing cannot do the job. Because you have to sit on a bike in the past, you have to know what is important to look at. And I'm sure if you look at it, you will not see the things I saw, but what is quite normal. The rider coach is also the person, you need to be there for the riders, for everything. Sometimes we go out for dinner, sometimes we talk more in a rental car from the track to the hotel than in the action at the track at all. You have to figure that out with people. And Scott, I work now since 2011. We have a lot of things up and down, so we know each other quite well with all the good and bad things, of course. One very important thing is, of course, the braking, but also how you enter from this tight corner into 10-11. The speed what you reach there at 11 is created here in that corner. So it always sticks together. And we found yesterday out, or our goal is, we found, of course, with all the talking, data recording, study, everything, we thought that we can improve about 4 to 5 tenths for today. My theory is very simple. It's all about the head from a rider. Of course, the technique is a lot of things to do, but the rider is the guy here in the head is the most important thing. When you see, they do a lot of things on the bike, high technique, everything, And we also have a nice program for the winter, because I always said we have to invest in the rider. Not only physical, also mentally training. And now he's sitting on a factory bike, so I would say so much we did not wrong. When you saw that now, I have not really observed that really the rear goes up a bit. Because you see that you can try, but the rear comes up a few times, always on the floor. It was not like yesterday when the bike goes like this. It looks like... Okay. When you hear it with the microphone, and then with the earphone, it's something you hear all the engine, all the shifting in a very clear way, without any noise around. And so we can also compare where other people are shifting, how is the gearing, and some other features and find out.
Yeah,
See that? Exactly, but it's already the last bit you turn already. Maybe he did that mark a bit later, you know, the last bit to turn in with the rear brake. That's maybe a bit later, but at the end, we are on the way. I think we have to relax from 5 to 6. No problem. No problem. Soon we have a nice time. We can sweat a little.